Once in a quiet little town, there was a notorious cat burglar known for sneaking into homes and making off with people's valuables. But this burglar wasn't your typical thief. No, this one was actually a clever, fluffy cat named Whiskers. Whiskers had a real talent for getting into places where he didn't belong. His owner, Mrs. Jenkins, always woke up to find her favorite things mysteriously misplaced. One morning, Mrs. Jenkins noticed her favorite necklace was gone. "Whiskers," she called out, "have you been stealing again?" Whiskers looked up from his sunny spot on the windowsill, stretched lazily, and meowed innocently. "I'll get to the bottom of this," she declared, determined to catch her furry thief in the act. That night, Mrs. Jenkins set up a camera to catch the burglar red-pawed. As she reviewed the footage the next day, she couldn't believe her eyes. There was Whiskers in the kitchen, leaping onto the counter like a little ninja. He knocked over a vase, made a sideways glance toward the camera, then proceeded to open the cookie jar. "I knew it," Mrs. Jenkins gasped. Whiskers grabbed a cookie, but as he turned to leave, he tripped over a string of yarn and sprawled out like the clumsy criminal he was. Mrs. Jenkins laughed so hard she almost spilled her coffee. She went over to him and said, "Whiskers, are you trying to open a bakery now?" Whiskers looked up with cookie crumbs on his face and meowed, "I'm just a hungry burglar getting my paw on the goodies." From that day forward, Mrs. Jenkins decided instead of getting mad, she'd just leave out a plate of cookies for her little kleptomaniac. After all, who could resist the charm of a cookie-stealing cat? And if he ever decided to take up a side job, at least he had the culinary skills down.